The authors, Sonal Sachdev Patel and Jemma Kattan. Welcome to you both. Really interesting concept. How did the Gita inspire you?
Well, I've been meditating since I was young. I have a guru named Paramahansa Yogananda, and when I was pregnant with my daughter, I wanted to take some of these magical messages from the Gita and explain it to them in a way that was really relatable to. But the text is quite heavy and difficult to understand, and sometimes tricky to be able to relate to what the kind of things that they're facing in their modern day lives. So I wanted to take these great messages and bring them to children in a way that's really relevant to them, that they would feel they could understand.
So Jemma, tell us what the book is about and the main themes in it as well.
So the interpretation we've based this on is, as Sonal mentioned, on this Indian saint, and he suggests that the epic battle, which is the traditional Gita story, and it's on a battlefield between warriors, really is a metaphor for the internal battle within ourselves that we each fight on a daily basis between our good tendencies and our bad. And he suggests that meditation is the tool to approach that battle. And that's actually the key of what really excited me as a storyteller, because we didn't want to make this a dry instructional text. We wanted to engage kids. And so I realised that actually that battle and that journey of meditation is a story. And that's when we thought about the idea of putting that battle actually inside the body of a modern, relatable child who's struggling with his emotions. And then we can take our characters and the reader on this journey of meditation actually up the boy's spine through the chakras, which in meditation represent centres of energy in the body, and in our book become these magical realms full of all sorts of creatures and challenges to overcome. And we really then can start exploring some of the trickier concepts in the Gita through an adventure story.
So are you really talking about well-being and mental health and breaking it down in a way that young children can understand and help them to sort of explain their own feelings, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely part of it. But there's also this sort of spiritual theme that underlies the whole thing, that we feel that children aren't armed with the tools that they need today to get through their lives. We teach them maths, we teach them how to write stories, but we don't teach them how to deal with their emotions. If I feel angry, what do I do about it? If I'm feeling depressed? And a lot of these teachings and truths are contained in the Holy Scriptures, but we're not always able to draw them out in a way that our children can understand them and access them.
And this is a book targeted at all teenagers from all walks of life, all backgrounds.
Definitely. That was actually one of the things that really attracted me to this as well, is that obviously, I think this book is particularly important to Sonal because she is Hindu. It's a Hindu text that has a deeper meaning for her. But actually, some of the messages from it are really universal. And I think too often religion gets kind of distorted and appropriated for political means, and we cling to these doctrines that there's one way to act and one way to reach God and one way to be. And we forget sometimes that at the heart of almost all religions is this idea about how to be a good person, how to choose to act well. And that really is the heart of the message in the Gita. So for me, coming from a Jewish background, it felt like a completely natural message to explore, and one that I hope everyone would be open to.
So a book for those of all faiths and none as well.
Exactly.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, how do you stop the teenagers that actually just want to sit on that computer device, the Xbox or whatever device they're using? How do you drag them away from that and get them interested in reading something like that? And would they be interested?
Well, actually, I mean, we thought about that, and our main character, Dev, at the beginning of the story, is feeling really cynical. He doesn't just embrace all of these concepts straight away, and he's going through those kind of emotional turmoils that we think a lot of teenagers will face and will be able to identify with. So we hope that that's what will draw people into the story, because they'll be able to identify with how he's feeling.
I have to say, I was just going to say, just before we go, that it's such a beautiful story because these guys have known each other since they were 3 and have been friends throughout. So you've been a constant sort of support for each other throughout your lives.
Yeah, we have. That's been a really lovely part of the process.
Yeah.
Lovely. Lovely story.
Good stuff, yeah. Sounds like a great book. Good read.
Thanks for having us.
Sonal and Jemma, thank you so much for coming in.